Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of martial arts and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today we've got a really good one. It's just, well, I guess there's some Shaolin in it, but we're not going to worry about that too much because I'm going to review The Last Dragon eventually, but not today. And that has tenuous connection to Shaolin as it is. Today we are going to review the seven Grandmasters, or seven Grandmasters, depending on the poster there says the seven Grandmasters, so that's what I used, but Wikipedia just calls it seven Grandmasters. It's directed by Joseph Koo, and it was distribution company was Hong Hua International Films, HK. Joseph was a prolific director. He was from Taiwan and did many of them. Some better than others, and this is one of the best. It's I watched it several years ago. I mean, probably a decade or more ago, and really enjoyed it. I haven't watched a lot. I'll admit it. I'm a Shaw Brothers person. That's my and some of the early Jackie, and Sammo's, but mostly Shaws. I love the Shaws because they're just really good, most of them. But this one is really good too, and it just looks good. It's really well done. The story is simple with enough plot twists. Well, one really, which you can see coming a mile away, but it's action packed. So, without further ado, let's just get into this a little more, and we'll talk about it. There you go. So this is, I don't even know I'm sorry that the print quality here isn't so good. It did come from the Internet Archive. There's about 7 of them on there, and this is pretty much the best one I could find.
I thank you all for coming here today. Congratulations. My good name, I must find out the truth. You want to prove you're really the champion? I have to. I've no choice. I'll oblige you.
See, so that's the plot there. Song Quan Chun is the retiring kung fu master. He wants to get out of the martial arts world because eventually somebody will come along and try to beat you. But they get a note that says he's not the best. So he goes off to challenge seven grandmasters of various styles, and so that's what they do. So he takes his 3 disciples and his daughter, and that's his daughter right there. His disciples are kind of jerks, as we'll find out, which is not uncommon, sadly. I mean, they do a lot of hazing, as we'll see, too. So our first bout right away is Wang Fei Lung, who was Shaw, and they have a nice little fight here. None of the fights are too long because they've got 7 of them to do, plus the final one, of course, against the surprise mystery villain. And our Grandmaster, Quan Chun, is Jack Long, but he uses a Phoenix Eye Fist there, and he beats the first guy. Then he's writing out all of his other invitations, and this is our second one. And let's see. I don't even know what he did, but he beats him. So I tried, the print was just not good enough for very many good action shots, so I want to apologize. Here is the mysterious man who's teaching Su Young, who's played by Lee Yi Min, and he does a really good job. There are really good martial artists here, and I did listen to the English dub. It was dubbed in It was shot in Mandarin and then dubbed into Cantonese and English and probably German and tons of other languages for international sale. It's what they did. All Chinese movies were shot silent until the 90s. So lots of times you didn't even get the original actors doing their own voices. I've said this before. All right, before we get too much further in there, I hope you've got a big old bowl of hummus of perfection and that you will like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. That'd be great. And if you want to, please just watch a little longer than normal. I'd really appreciate it. Here's our third Grandmaster. And let's see. He is a monkey stylist. This is Monkey Lu, and it's Chin Yet San. But I'm glad he got beat. I'm not a fan of monkeys in general. So monkey style, unless it's the Monkey King, I could give or take it. So it's a good fight. Once they're all really good fights. And the stuntmen really do a good job. So little Su Ying just gets sent over, and he just starts following them. I like the outdoor shots here. I don't know if it was shot in Taiwan or Hong Kong, but just really nice outdoor shots because it was cheaper than building sets. Right? They're out in the open a lot. There he is trying to become a disciple of Quan Chan, but he says, "No, I'm not taking anymore. I'm retiring. Go away." He doesn't go away. He just keeps trying to become helpful, and he's not greeted with kindness by the um, uh, the other three students. Eagle Lee is one, and who else is Corey Yun? I think is one who obviously became a famous director, one of the Seven Fortunes, and then there's one other one, Chu Chung Hing. I don't know which is which. So there's a very common pose there. He's fighting probably a tiger stylist, even though that makes it look like a dragon claw, but it's a tiger claw. And he gets a boot to the head, and he wins. He beats them all, and they're all very gracious. They have a fight, and it's a good fight because they hit each other. All the fights are good. All the fights are really fun to watch. This movie moves along. It runs approximately 88 minutes. The version I had. It was released March 21st, 1977 by May Entertainment, and the country was Taiwan. So beautiful country over there. Be fun to go to. So you can tell that they were going to have a bout. It's raining, and then this jerk, one of his is tormenting Su Lung, or Su Ling, pardon me, Su Ying, who brings medicine to the master. So he gets in some points there, especially with the daughter, who is Nancy Yen, and she can fight too. So he's sick. That's why, and they have to get across a river, and he drops him in, and then the oldest student just beats the crap out of poor little Su Ying. So yeah, jerks. They're in the inn. They get to an inn, and they get him better. So then he tells his daughter the flashback of what's going on here, of some of it, and two students, and their master dies, and he gives them the secret book of the Pai Mei 12 strikes, or Bai Mei, or Pak Mei. He's the white eyebrow priest who's generally a bad guy unless you're Quentin Tarantino. Well, that whole movie, Kill Bill, there were no good guys in Kill Bill, really, just people who wanted revenge on other people. So he's telling her this story of the flashback, but we don't get all of it when these men in black show up. Now, old Su Ying, doesn't know any kung fu at this point in time, and they all attack. But he sacrifices himself to save everyone, and then he told him just let him go, don't kill him. He doesn't believe it. But look at he got the crap beat out of him, and he's all beat up. Our next Grandmaster is a weapons expert who's got a broadsword. They play around with that for a while, a spear and a pole or a staff, red tassel spear, and he beats him. And he ends up with the butterfly knives. So they do a really good job. I would assume that Corey Yen probably had something to do with this. The credits are not in English, so it didn't really say much. Cinematography says James Wu, but that doesn't tell you anything. Wikipedia is not particularly good about foreign movies all the time. So they do accept Su Ying as a student, and then he starts practicing. The other students, again, are jerks, at least at first, because they always are. But he's determined, and he's got a reason. I mean, so there is something going on because they're being followed, of course. Training sequence there because that was popular by then. Oh, wait, not quite, but it was going to be really popular by the next year. Snake in the Eagle's Shadow and Drunken Master. Tons of training sequences. And here we have another Grandmaster challenge, I believe that's a Mantis style, probably Chowgar. Thank you, Blake, for your book that talks about Chowgar. And I don't know what this style is supposed to be. The fist like that, punching fist, is very Japanese style. Chinese generally were vertical instead of horizontal. Practice, 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 and then the master, Quan Chun, sends his students to test him. He beats up two of them, and he won't fight with his daughter, and gets smacked around. And then he fights some more with the guys. The oldest student beats him up once again, but he just continues practicing. And Bao Jiang is what that's called in Cantonese, your elbow strike. And then finally, they decide they think he's asleep. Somehow, this poor orphan kid gets really good clothes and can afford food. And they've got pockets in their shirts. It doesn't say when this is actually set, what time period, but they're just wandering around the countryside here looking for people to fight. He beats all of them up. I love the old famous shot of grabbing the fist before he can get to you. Now we have our last Grandmaster, and it's his students that he has to fight. So, of course, Su Ying has to win everybody. And this guy's trying to kill them all. And he just sits there and makes fun of him. I don't know that Li Yi Min or Li Yi Min was ever in anything else. He probably was, because he's good enough. I mean, these are all really good martial artists. Nice stances. Look at the stance there, that slanted bow. And his knees a little too far forward, but it's a pose and it looks cool. So he beats up two of them at a time. Then he beats up three of them at a time, doing something Ricky Morton would do later on, later on in Mid-South and all of the territories. And now they're all happy. A little flaw in the film here. It is a bit of a beat-up print. I don't know that this has ever been put out. Come on, Arrow. This is one for you. They go back, and now he finds this other master. Dun, dun, dun. He gets told a load of crap about who killed his father. Now he thinks it's Song Quan Chun. So, of course, guess what happens? He challenges him to a fight. I think that's his uncle. I don't know exactly who. All of them believe that his master killed his father, but he didn't really. So they have a battle. And it's a good, flying around. At least their stuntmen are. There's some wire work here. I'm just convinced that Corey Yen Kwai was responsible for some of this because, he was very good with wires. And the master is beat up because he's learned the other the other three strikes of Bai Mei, because the book that Quan Chun got was not complete. But there's the trick. He'd gotten an eagle claw in, or a dragon claw, or something. One of the masters was an eagle claw stylist too. So they team up. There's the villain. I don't even know who that's supposed to be now. Uncle. Let's see. No, mysterious figure. Doesn't even have a name. It could be Nanlin, or who knows. I should have looked it up, but once again, there's that pose, and the battle is on. But he tells him to use the dragon style, but to no avail until the very end, when this happens. When normally I would say boot to the head, and that is sort of applicable here. And I have forgotten completely about the trailer here. That we could have been listening to instead of me.
You know the reason why I'm here? Because you think you can beat me. Second strike. Swallow style. How was it? The teacher, San Quan Chung. San Quan Chung? Sao Yi. You really mean to fight me? I have no choice.
Well, anyway, so we'll see the trailer at the end here. So that's the end. Everyone, all the good guys are still alive. You can tell it's not a Chong Che movie. The bad guy's dead. I don't know who these other people are over here on the side there, if those are related to him, but at least the bad guy has been found out. Everyone's semi-happy. And that's our that's our Shaolin Saturday Kung Fu movie. It's really good. I would probably be interested in a Blu-ray of this Arrow Video, and because they do a great job, and if they can get a nicer print, that would be even better. So, my fellow agents, until tomorrow, where we will be reviewing Teenagers from Outer Space, a public domain movie. This is X7. Let me cue up the music here. This is X7 signing off, and that's not porno music there, Frog. Nice try.
I thank you all for coming here today. Congratulations. My good name, I must find out the truth. You want to prove you're really the champion? I have to. I've no choice. I'll oblige you. You know the reason why I'm here? 'Cause you think you can beat me. Second strike! Swallow style! Third strike! The other champions can never beat him. Sang Quan Cheng is a quite brilliant fighter.
Dad! The killer was San Quan Cheng.
Hold it! Wait! What do you want? You're a great teacher, and therefore I'd like to follow you. You may want me, but I don't want you, though.
You have no strength. You're useless.
In 6 months, I can beat you. The cicada! Even a mouse, can beat the cat. You've got no strength. Uncle you. Now tell me, who killed my dad? Tell me.
I cannot tell you that.
Who was it?
The teacher, San Quan Chung.
San Quan Chung? Sao Yi, you really mean to fight me? I have no choice.